Here we are. So I've just made it to the old Millennium Dome, O2 Arena, whatever you want to call it. The first time I came here, I was so young, it was a big Pokemon event, and a man in a tent gave us a Mew on our Pokemon Red or Blue cartridges, which was really cool, come to think of it. We're here for a different reason today though. We are here to try the cheapest world buffet in London, being Jimmy's. Now this buffet, £15 for 2 hours. I'm going to try and eat absolutely everything. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty loud inside, so I'm going to pass it over to Couch Sam, and he's going to walk you through the rest. It's always fun walking into the O2. You're almost spoiled for choice with all of the different dining options that you've got there, but today I was going to the one place that I'd always vowed never to go, Jimmy's World Buffet. Although to be fair, £15 for 2 hours seemed like a pretty good bargain. And you all know me, I love a good deal, so let's just hope that the food was actually going to live up to the expectation. Not that I had a huge expectation of this place, but I thought it worth trying to find out. I got in for opening and it was already pretty busy. I felt a bit awkward trying to film there because I do have a crippling anxiety when it comes to filming in public places when I'm by myself, so this was going to be fun. Now I thought it would also be fun to rate everything as we go, so things would get either a score out of 1, 2 or 3. 1 being really, really bad, 3 being really good. At the end, we'll take a look at all of these scores, and whichever scored the most, 1, 2 or 3, that's how high I'll rate the buffet. Now, if you haven't been to a buffet in the UK before, one thing that you're going to notice is that 90% of all buffets is just deep-fried beige food. I was hoping things were going to be a little bit different here, but lo and behold, my very first plate, deep-fried beige food. I started off with the prawn. It wasn't crispy, but it was quite a plump, juicy prawn, so I gave it a 2. I'd like to say that you can't really go wrong with a poppadom, but in my experience you definitely can. But luckily this one tasted pretty standard, pretty good, pretty normal as far as poppadoms go and should be. Give it a 3, why not? Poppadom was fine, absolutely fine. The tomato chutney was great, but I did keep breaking my poppadom in it, but that usually does happen when you dip poppadoms into things and you don't spread like a normal person, so it's kind of my fault. Anyway, tomato chutney was amazing. It was sweet, it was spicy, it worked really well with the poppadom and pretty much everything else on the plate. That, again, pretty solid 3. The fries were tasteless, not salted, just tasted a very, very bland and almost as if they'd just been sat out for hours, which is really strange because I got there for opening. Have they not just been freshly fried and put there for us to all have? Feels like they kind of made them at like 10 AM in the morning and then just left them there until midday. Those got a 1. But the lime pickle, good amount of spice to it, good as lime pickle as I've ever had. Gave it a 3, why not? Thought I'd be generous. I don't know what this was called, didn't catch it. It's a crispy sphere, kind of like a poppadom. Like, it was good. It was alright. Good vessel to put your sauce in. Didn't blow me away or anything. Gave that a 2. So I apparently didn't press record for the next few items. This right here is me thinking I'm turning record on, but it's me recording and turning it off. Very smart. Very smart, Sam. But to get you up to speed, the onion ring and the spring roll, those were a 1. The crispy chicken wing, that was alright. Gave that a 2. But the onion bhaji, really, really good. Gave that a 3. This chickpea and paneer dish was lovely. I really liked it a lot, and so I just gave it a 3. And the bel puri, which is kind of like this crispy puffed rice, that was good, had nice spices to it, good flavour. Gave that a 2. So plate 1 was down. That got 3 1s, 3 2s, and 5 3s. So it seemed we were off to a good start. All of that did leave me really, really thirsty though, and I was really upset that I didn't bring my Holy with me today, which does actually really nicely bring me on to this week's sponsor, Holy. Now you're probably asking, what is Holy? Holy is a cheaper and healthy alternative to soft drinks and energy drinks. Holy were kind enough to send me a starter kit which lets you sample all of the iced tea, the hydration and the energy, loads of different flavours. You guys know I'm a keen CrossFitter and I like to keep myself healthy. Well, that does include keeping myself hydrated and energised when I'm about to do a workout or even when I'm editing these videos. Holy comes in to help there. It has no sugar, no artificial flavours and colours, and is under 20 calories per serving. It comes in so many flavours and types. My favourite, sour cherry hydration, watermelon whale energy. Really, really simple to make. All you do is fill up your shaker with some water, add in a scoop or a sachet of your flavour of choice, give it a good shake, and then there you go. You have a cheap, delicious, beautiful drink. That's good, that is. I've honestly spent so much money on hydration products, for when I'm working out, for energy drinks, for just before a workout. This is an amazing alternative to all of that. And coming in at just under 80 pence per serving, it's just worth it. It's really good, it really is. You guys can try it too, you know. They've given me a code, a couple of codes actually, for you guys. Using the code SamWilder, you can get 10% off. Or using the code SamWilder5, you can get £5 off your first order. All of the codes are here or in the description below. I would honestly highly recommend checking it out. I'm a huge fan of these. Carolina is too. She's having just as many as I am. I genuinely think that this is something that as long as I'm working out and as long as I'm making videos, I'm gonna be using Holy. You guys should try it out too. If you buy now, the deluxe starter set is on discount, and with my code, it's currently a full £15 cheaper. It's a great way to try out all the flavours Holy have to offer. That's 42 portions at 80 pence each. If you've tried Holy before, it's a great way to get stuck in to try the best-selling flavours again. It's honestly such a shame I didn't have any of this at the buffet. What was next was sushi and pizza. Two things that I love. And I was hoping, after this experience, I would still love. I filled my plate up with a bit of each sushi and the pizza, and I went back to my table to devour plate number 2. So we got a load of pizza and sushi next. Last time I went to a fish food buffet, got severe food poisoning. I hoped I wouldn't get severe food poisoning from this. Not gonna lie, this was hard to eat. The rice was really claggy, didn't really rate it. Same with the second piece. Not my favourite, it's just okay. Looking back, just okay was an overstatement. This was pretty poor, 1 out of 3. At least the garlic bread looked nice. And actually, yeah, garlic bread slapped. 3. Legit. The margarita was incredible. Really good flavour, nice crispy base. Again, gave that a 3. Finally, we had the chicken tikka pizza, which was a surprising flavour that they had. But you know what? Tasted really good. Good flavours again. Again, a nice base. Gave it a 3. Chicken tikka on pizza, actually really nice. Plate number 2 got 3 1s and 3 3s. The trend here was seeming like everything was either really good or really bad. Let's go to plate number 3. Plate 3 was the Mexican section. Here we got a couple of different types of chilies, some chicken fajita mix, sauces, and some jalapenos. It was a bit of a sad looking plate, and yeah, I overdid it on the sauce. Put the chicken fajita mix into the chicken fajita and mixed it up badly. Now, I definitely did put quite a lot of sauces on here and not enough chicken. So it kind of just tasted of the sauce and not the chicken. But even that wasn't particularly great. So, you know, this whole fajita thing just gets a 1. The chili was really strange. The chili just barely had any meat in it, so not great flavour either. That got a 1 as well. The veg chili was nicer, and that got a 2. However, really weirdly, the jalapenos weren't spicy and tasted of nothing. I told myself I wouldn't rate the salad and the vegetables, and instead I would just rate the main dishes, but these jalapenos were so bad, I had to give them a 1. That meant plate 3 was down and got 3 1s and 1 2. Not a great plate by any means. My next plate was a load of rice and potatoes and stewed dishes, but there was an issue. The issue here, when we get to the saucy things, all the sauces have just mixed together. So that's going to be interesting. Now previously, before this plate, I'd had chicken a few times here already, and they were all fine. The chicken wing, that was fine. The chicken on pizza, you know, also fine. The Mexican chicken, yeah, I didn't really taste it. But I was about to learn something about Jimmy's chicken. The creamy chicken, whilst the sauce was okay, the chicken was one of the grossest, toughest and driest pieces of chicken I think I have ever put in my mouth. Literally, look at me trying to eat it and trying to bite into it. That was a hard one. Next was the barbecue meatballs, and these pretty much tasted identical to the Heinz baked bean sausages that you get in a tin. It just kind of threw me off. The texture, it wasn't really what I was expecting from a meatball, and just didn't really taste nice, so again, gave that a 1. Fish. The fish was mackerel, and that was actually surprisingly really nice. I really liked the flavours of it, and it did have a few bones in there, but they do tell you about that, so I can't knock them down any points for that. I'm just going to give them a straight 3 because I actually really enjoyed the mackerel. The rice was rice. Tasted like rice. It was good. Not great. Gave that a 2. These big boys were roast potatoes. They were definitely better than the chips, but not by much, so I gave them a 2. Do you notice that about now I'm starting to chew everything a heck of a lot more? I was starting to get pretty full. So I did take a little break by staring out the window and people watching. Spoiler alert, nothing interesting happened. No one walked past. It was worst bit of people watching ever. And I was running out of time, already coming up close to an hour, so I had to crack on despite wanting to die a little bit. And yes, that is still the roast potato that I'm chewing. Piri piri chicken next, but again, that was dry and tough and actually a little bit pink, so might well have killed me. Gave that a 1 and stopped eating it pretty quickly. Finally, there was some pasta, but it was mushy and way too sweet, so that also got a 1. Which means plate 4 gave us 4 1s, 2 2s, and this time just 1 3. Things weren't looking good going forward for our pal Jimmy. Now at this point I had a bit of a break and I just wasn't feeling very good in general. I've only had 4 plates. I've got an hour and 15 minutes left. I need to man up and I need to go get more food. Man up I did, but I took my time whilst watching a man make my fresh garlic naan bread in front of me, which was a pretty cool experience. I then filled my plate with Indian food and went to go sit down. And I won't lie, this looked like a pretty good plate. Now they also had a load of Thai curries and a load of Chinese curries, but I didn't want to mix them together because I thought that would be weird. They also had a load of Thai curries and a load of Chinese curries, but I didn't want to mix them together because I thought that would be weird. I started with this lamb sheesh, which compared to that other meatball, it was worlds apart and so much better. That got a 3. It's also ridiculous how long it was taking me to actually chew things at this point. My body did not want me to ingest any more food. Fresh naan was incredible. I loved how they made it in front of you. Showmanship was good. Tasted really good. Whilst I do hope the man's hands were clean, it was still very nice. I gave that a 3. Put the Rogan Josh on the naan and took another bite. This was a banger and a 3. And you know why I think it was so good? It wasn't chicken. I need to reiterate too that everything was just so hard to eat right now and I was really starting to flag. Starting to flag. But I said I'd have everything. So we need to at least try everything. Chicken tikka. No, that's shit. Chicken tikka masala. Look, Jimmy's, the sauce is good, but you need to learn how to cook chicken. Safe to say I didn't like the chicken tikka. Both of those got a very unsurprising 1. Chili paneer time, which was actually pretty nice and went down well. I gave that a 2. The dal was also very good, but then again I really like dal, so I gave that a 3. The final thing on my plate here was a Bombay potato, which was a bit harder, not all that great. We'll give that a 1. So one thing I really didn't want to do in this challenge was leave any food on the plates. I wanted to try and ensure that I was eating everything, but things were getting so difficult at this point. So far I had cleared every single plate I had, but plate 5 really getting the better of me. There was a lot left on it and I really felt like I needed to eat the naan because the nice man made it for me in front of me. But then I told myself there was one more plate until dessert. So I just had to crack on, I just had to continue, I had to keep eating. So I ate like 2 bites of this naan and this is how long it took me to eat it. That was a whole minute. Plate 5 gets 2 1s, 1 2, and 3 3s. I'm gonna have a 10-minute break to see how I am after that. Fingers crossed. Plate 6 was a wet mess, a bit like me at this point. This consisted of Thai green chicken, Thai red squid, beef and black bean, sweet and sour chicken, and I added some sweet corn salad. Mostly to show you that the salads here were just a bunch of veg put in bowls together, nothing made up. You kind of made the salad yourself, so that's why we didn't really try those and didn't really eat them, because I'd just be rating vegetables, which taste like vegetables. And quite frankly, yeah, the sweet corn was good, but it tasted like sweet corn, and sweet corn is sweet corn. So sweet corn's not going to get a rating because it's just sweet corn. Sweet corn's good though. Tried the Thai red squid, which was good flavours, but a bit rubbery. Thai green curry as well, like you'd expect at this point. The chicken, so dry. I even needed water to get it down. This was the final piece of chicken for the day, staring at me in the face. In it went. It was still rubbish. Last bit was the beef and black bean. We can move on to dessert after this. It's like leather. Yeah, It wasn't good. Everything on this plate gets a 1. Except you, sweet corn. You're a good boy. Now finally I can move on to desserts, something I'd been looking forward to since the beginning. Something sweet to counter all of the salt I'd ingested. Plate 7 never looked so good. No matter how full I am, never underestimate my ability to eat dessert. I like the mango mousse. It gets a 3. The jelly was jelly, and jelly gets a 2 because it's jelly. Carrot cake. Carrot cake was really nice actually. I gave that a 3. Red velvet cake. Red velvet got a 2, lemon got a 1, strawberry cheesecake's a 1, and mango cheesecake a 2. The issue is all these cakes is, why is there so much cream on top? Why ruin a perfectly good cake with random cream and sprinkles? Wasn't a fan of it, didn't understand it, left the cream, mainly ate the cake. This plate got 2 1s, 3 2s, and 2 3s. There's one thing more to try. Then I've made my way through the entire buffet. I had finally almost made it. The last things of the day to eat. A chocolate-covered marshmallow and some soft serve ice cream. They were just okay. Both of them got a 2. But you know what? I had done it. I had completed Jimmy's. I had eaten everything on their lunchtime menu. And I was so happy for it. It's a good way to end. I don't know if happy is the right word, actually. Altogether, the scores ended up as follows. There were 21 1s altogether, 12 2s, and 14 3s. Jimmy's, I'm sorry, but you get a 1 out of 3 altogether. That said, some dishes were great, and 14 dishes scoring a 3, it's pretty good. You could go to Jimmy's and just eat those 14 things and probably have a really good time, and 15 quid for that? Yeah, it's not bad. Well, I did it. I somehow made it. Okay, I admit. 2 things I missed. I didn't realise until afterwards. There's a stir-fry bit and a pasta bit where they make it fresh. But I think if I ate either of those things, I think it would all come back up. I am so full. Would I go there again? I wouldn't pay £23. £15? Pretty good. Although drinks are extra on top. So that all together cost me £18.50. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now I'm gonna head to the gym to burn this all off. And I'll drink a holy energy to get me through it.